emails, reports, or editing. But what generative AI do, it actually draft or brainstorm all these information or content for you. So here are some of the differences that how you can use writing tools just for your assistance, or generative AI tools to create something. So what should be the best practices in writing when using AI? Review the expectation and the requirements of your writing. I mean, if there's anything from the instructor, you should review them and disclose any usage of AI whenever you are submitting your final draft or final writing. And then adhere to your college's AI usage policy. It is also very important to do your homework, try to find out what the college policies are, and then keep those in mind whenever you're working with AI. Keep your original thoughts, creativity, and ideas in your work. Be mindful of the proper use of AI and any biases that tools might create, just as we discussed earlier. And use AI as a learning support. It should not substitute your own ideas and thoughts. Disclose and cite, which is very important, the use of AI in your research paper, reports, or any other documentation. Check and validate the information, which is important. Researchers are solely responsible for that. So, whenever you're using AI, check and validate that if the information is correct or not. Prioritize data privacy, which is very important. Sensitive data security is very important. So be careful with that whenever you are working with your with any kind of data. So yes, here I have developed some of the activities for you, and it is for us to understand the use of AI responsibly. And I am going to read out some of the scenarios, and I want you all to participate in there. So, what you can do, I'll read the scenario. If you want to participate, unmute your mic, and then just discuss. We are going to discuss on this. For example, scenario one, a student lists resources generated by AI without verifying they actually exist. What do you think? Is this the ethical use of AI?
No.
Yes, and can you expand more on this? Why? Anyone?
Information needs to be verified to ensure its accuracy.
That's correct. Anyone else wants to participate in there? So yes, the students are responsible for ensuring that the resources are correct and accurate. So whatever you are submitting, whenever you are submitting your final draft, always go over the information. Try to double check if the resources are correct and accurate. So here's scenario two. AI generates codes for a student's research project. The student runs the code but does not understand what it does. Is this responsible use of AI? What do y'all think?
No.
No.
All right. And I mean, can you give me some explanation? Why do you think it's not the responsible use of AI?
Basically, it's letting AI do your thinking and mental processing for you instead of trying to understand it for yourself.
Yes, that's correct. That's yeah. I mean, AI is doing the a job for you, and you're not understanding what this code is all about, how it is generated, how it is working. Anyone else want to add in there?
Could I play devil's advocate and ask what happens if you do understand the code and know what it's doing, but you use AI just to do it faster? I would assume that would change this dynamic quite a bit.
Yes, that's correct. It's not fully. I mean, the student should understand and verify the code and the results. What the student should do should run the code to understand what it does. And of course, the researchers remains responsible for the accurate analysis whenever, I mean, in your paper, in your writing, whenever you are explaining something, you are responsible of explaining it, understanding it, and then provide your analysis. So, I mean, it's important that you know where the answer or where the code is coming from, how it is working. Try to understand yourself and then provide the explanation and analysis in your paper. So, for example, if you're working in a group project, one member of the group uses AI to draft a paper and does not tell the group. So, who is responsible if the instructors finds out? What do you all think?
The entire group.
Yeah, the whole group will be held responsible.
Um, and why? Any thoughts on that?
Because the other members should have verified if it was drafted by AI or not, or at least from the instructor's perspective, he or she needs to hold the full group accountable as I'm assuming they're all being graded on it.
Yes, this is correct. Anyone else wants to add in here or? So yes, the member, as you all said, that the member who used AI without telling the group, the entire group may still share the responsibility as the paper is submitted without reviewing. And nobody reviewed it if the citations are correct. So before submitting your final paper, if you're working as a group, it is important that you review all the information you're submitting. What are the best practices? Set group expectations. Whenever you are working with a group, as we all know that AI is very easy to use and anyone can go in there and find information. So always set group expectations. Uh, Always require all the group members to disclose any use of AI, make it clear for everyone that this is how we're gonna work together. Check for errors, any inaccurate or fabricated information before your final submission. So here are some of the best practices to help you in working with the groups. And of course, the AI is here, so anyone can use it anytime. And I think this is our last scenario. A researcher summarizes 20 articles using AI tool and later include them in the paper. So what do you think? Is this responsible use of AI? Anyone? Excuse me. Anyone want to participate in it? It's just a discussion. So what do you think? I just want to have your thoughts that what do you think? So
I think
I think yes.
yeah, as long as you cite it or give it credit.
Right.
that's correct. Mm-hmm.
You know, AI
Yes,
is
anyone else?
a good tool for you know, helping with efficiency, and it might take too long to read 20 articles. So at least using the tool to help gather the central message of each of those articles is helpful.
Yes, that's correct because AI, I mean, it can help you with summarizing those articles sometimes, it's very hard to go through all the whole 20 articles, for example. And like you can take the help of AI to summarize them, but whatever the points they have, for example, uh, the highlights of the articles or something, but you need to verify those as well. So you are responsible for your own writing. Disclose any use of AI in the researcher in the writing. Researcher is also responsible for verification and validity. So researchers should check the important claims or highlights of the summaries with the original article to verify if it is correct or not. And there's always inaccuracy. There's always a percentage of inaccuracy. So try to um, uh, I mean, verify the main points or the highlights of the articles that AI has generated for you. And also, just as you said, include those AI as in your citations list, so that it is your responsibility to disclose anything that you have been using to develop your research paper. So yes, these are all good examples. And UFH provides you with the writing center. There are some very many resources actually, and I have listed some of the resources here where you can actually go and if you need any help, the writing center can help you in if you need help in writing. Graduate writing consultations, they also provide that. So if you want to make an appointment for consultations, you can go directly to the writing center. Artificial intelligence, UH has its own website where, web page where it talks about the artificial intelligence. And also it talks about AI tools, which we use in the UH, in our college. So it's all this information is there. And also Bauer also have its own web page, which is called Bauer Human Centered Artificial Intelligence Institute. It has various programs and certificates for you if you wanted to go into that site, if you wanted to learn more about it. So some of the resources I listed down here. And yes, so that's all from my presentation, and I hope I can start work on the presentation of Dr. Felvigi. But let's see if I can do it now. Okay, let me see. Just gonna Hisham, I'm gonna try it that one more time if that's okay. I'm not sure if he's here.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's the same scenario, which I am not. Probably something like I have to switch the audio or something. I'm not sure. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so I am just looking at the chat, and I'm so sorry I didn't look at it first. So there are answers in here too. And thank you so much for providing me your thoughts and feedback in here. And what I'm going through is that whatever we have discussed is you have also provided that in there. So citation is important, and verification is important. So yes, those are all good answers. Okay, let me try. I hope this gonna work. And I'm going to go over the system settings here in the audio. Switching from Mac and Windows, sometimes it gives me problems, but let's see.
Is it a YouTube link that you're using?
No, I think it's SharePoint. Okay, yeah, it's on, but let's see what I can do. Okay, let's see if that could work. Okay.
This is Amisha Lady. I am the college's director.
It's the same, right?
Yeah, it's the same.
Is Amisha Lady.
Should I go in and mute myself or something that could?
Yeah, we can't hear it at all now that you muted yourself. We only hearing it coming from your microphone. We're not hearing it through your PC.
Yeah.
There might be an audio sharing option when you're starting the screen share. There might be an option to share audio as well. So I think, yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, thank you. I think that was the problem because I have tried several times and I was able to listen to it. But yeah, let me check that. Okay, let's try. I hope it's gonna work. Let's see.
It will.
Hi, welcome to Bauer. This
Yay.
is Emma Shafavegi. I am the college's Director of Digital Learning. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about learning technologies and how to use AI tools meaningfully for education. And in this hour, you're going to have two other guest speakers. One of them is a graduate student working with the Office of Digital Learning, whom I asked to present to you about how he uses AI tools, the UH sanctioned AI tools for academic purposes and to prepare for the workforce. And then you're going to have Ms. Siddiqui, a full-time instructional designer with my office, who is going to talk to you about how to use AI tools for writing meaningfully and for growth and in compliance with your course policies. So before we get to that, I wanted to share a couple reminders, or if this is new, then take a snap, or we're going to give you these slides. Some of the gateway services at Bauer and U of H are such that will take you to a website that opens more doors for you in a way. And one of the most important things you can have, and you need to make sure that you have up-to-date information for it, is your CougarNet login, which is tied to, as like everything else today, to a multi-factor authentication. But once you have your CougarNet and are able to log into your Access UH system, that will give you all these tiles that will connect you to your Canvas, which is your learning management system, your Microsoft Office tools, which house the Office apps and Copilot and a whole host of other applications for you. You will also see your Google services here. Your classes are listed here under the My UH app or also the UH Go app. So that CougarNet is going to be your gateway to everything else. My unit does not actually support any of these, but if you need help with these, then from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., UHIT is there to help you through a chatbot or phone or email or an online portal that will give you a knowledge base where you can empower yourself to learn more about the tools. I think the first couple weeks are always a process of acclimation, but having that CougarNet well in hand and being able to log into Access UH and go from there is something that can help you alleviate a lot of anxieties of where something is and how do I get in there. So some of the tools that my unit actually can help you with are related to learning technologies. And our learning management platform used in most classes at Bauer is Canvas. Canvas has a robust set of tutorials available for you, and it is a pretty intuitive interface where your courses will be loaded as these cards on your dashboard for you. You are going to have a calendar and activity feed that will show you when the upcoming assignments are. And it's best to take these and use them hand in hand with your syllabus. Faculty may not have put in all assignments at the beginning of the course, so looking at the syllabus of what's coming will help you check what has already been opened and released in Canvas. If you get stuck with Canvas, you can spend some time with the tutorials, or you can actually go and use that question mark and ask questions of the support staff behind Canvas. And if it's an academic activity, not a specific Canvas question, then the best person to help you with is likely going to be your class TA. If this gets forgotten or you lose those slides, just write down my last name and you can look up my email address and you can always email me as well, and we'll find the best person to help you. As a side note, some of your classes may be on Teams instead of Canvas. If you cannot find your class in Canvas, there's a course finder. I'll put a link in here before I send this to your so we can put this on a website for you. And then yeah, I think that's it for Canvas. If you have any questions about Canvas at the end of the session, you can always ask Ms. Siddiqui as well. All right, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about generative artificial intelligence. And when we talk about AI today, we often mean just generative AI, not the whole spectrum of what that umbrella term actually encompasses. AI in a specific way is really a system that can do anything that a human could do. And the origins of that go back to the 1950s when a British mathematician called Alan Turing posited that a machine can fool us into thinking that it itself is another person, another human. So anytime when you do a CAPTCHA, you're basically proving to a machine that you are in fact human, so it can let you in to access your content. So that's a completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. So next time you suffer through those CAPTCHAs, think about how you're proving your humanhood to a machine. But from those theories from Turing, very quickly the field of artificial intelligence research becomes significant, and over time, it transforms into cataloging images and texts, and then from that, very rapidly um, becomes able to create new content based on that. So generative AI are the tools that remix and reshape and are able to learn from what already exists and predict what is likely to come next. So when we're dealing with generative AI, we're not dealing with true artificial intelligence. We're dealing with systems that can predict what can come next. So when we talk about ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot or Claude or many of these other tools, they will have aspects that move on a spectrum from spectrum of generating content to creating new things. So there's a tool here that is, it may seem miracle-like and magical, but it's really a prediction app to the other end where an agent can come in and do things for you. So that spectrum moves from taking something that you can do and task a machine to do it, to make predictions and create something new out of what exists, and then a true agent who can act and even complete tasks for you. And these are still a subset of artificial intelligence that have very many more applications. It is just in the past 4 to 6 years with OpenAI's ability to translate generative AI into that ChatGPT interface that grew into something that many of us use every day. And I think you'll hear from Uzair and from Ms. Siddiqui about the pros and cons of using these and really making sure that us humans remain in the process altogether to verify, to be transparent about the use and learn with as opposed to letting it think for us. So there are two AI tools at U of H that are fully supported and have been vetted by UHIT security. And these are the tools that you may use for educational purposes in your classrooms as well, or they're also available for you as a user through the Access UH interface with the Microsoft 365 and the Google Gemini app. And these tools are great for you to summarize longer documents or to study with and use them in your classroom projects as your faculty supports it or permits it or recommends it. The biggest thing with all of these tools is to make sure that you're not putting anything in there that is sensitive, that would violate your privacy or your data security needs. Also, the copyright or the privacy of the groups or the content that you're working with. There are a lot of tutorials available for you at uh.edu/AI/AI tools. And I really recommend you work with Copilot, and you also work with Gemini Notebook, which is also available for you to use in compliance with the copyright notices from faculty and under their guidance. And both of these tools from Access UH with your CougarNet email are available to you for free. So, as you're thinking about using either of these tools, always think about the ultimate goal of learning, that these tools make it easy for you to do a lot of tasks, but who is doing the thinking, who's doing the prompting, and what skills are you developing as you're using these tools? So for an academic purpose, if you have intentions of using these tools for writing with brainstorming, um, just expanding your horizons, always check with your faculty member if for a graded assignment, if their use is permitted or not. So the syllabus will have information about this, but there might be nuances in terms of when it is okay and when it is something that you simply cannot use. And Ms. Siddiqui will have some activities for you later in the session. But rule of thumb is just talk to your professor and be transparent about the AI tool use. And then I think you'll spend more time with Ms. Siddiqui. You will have Copilot and you will have Gemini. You may actually have your own personal ChatGPT or Grammarly accounts. Make sure that you're not using them in ways that would violate copyright or your faculty policies. So altogether, again, as before and not after, and even if their use is okay, be transparent about how and what you used. So if you would like to learn more, I put up some resources, and I'm going to put back my email address. I put up my unit's email address as well. Please reach out if you have any questions, and I hope you'll enjoy Uzair's presentation and then Ms. Siddiqui's, and please feel free to ask questions at the end of the session. Thank you.
All right, so it was all okay, right? And we're gonna, I'm sorry, I mean, the sequence has been changed. I presented first, but because of the audio things from my side, but I hope uh, it was easy for you to listen to Dr. Felvigis, and now we are moving on with Uzair's presentation, and he is going to talk in details about the features of AI tools that we use in our college, and that will give you more insights in the topic. So I'm gonna start now.
Hello everyone, I'm Uzair Mohammed. Today I'll be talking on the topic AI for academic and workforce readiness. This is something prepared by the Department of Digital Learning. We know that we're in a phase where AI is changing once a while and we have to be prepared for whatever comes. This is one of the biggest transition phases of our industry and we have to be ready whatever comes next and is waiting for us. So on this presentation, there's few topics which I'll be talking about. So this is our agenda for today. There are a few things which I've categorized and I find are essential to know as an overview of what is being offered by AI. So first part, we'll be talking about the AI offerings. What are the LLMs which are only UH approved in this particular case, and what are the best features available for it, and what are the best things we could do about it. And we'll be talking a little bit on how AI has impacted job market in the recent days and a little bit of prediction of what could happen on my analysis. And after that, I'll give you a student plan, which I felt if you practice, everybody knows that if you don't put pen on the paper, we can't learn anything. In the same way, if we don't put in the work, we can't actually experience and learn. So I've formulated a design plan which students could use, apply, and refer to. And also I'll be talking something on the ethical use of AI, as we know that we are using AI continuously, and we know but at a certain extent what to do with it, but we have no idea of what not to do with it. As we're working in an academia or in a workplace as well, we have to know what are the do's and what are not to do's in a particular fashion way where we could actually draw a line. So this is our agenda. We will be talking much more in detail about these 4 sections of the topics. So let us begin with what are the UH approved tools for students as of starters. In this, we have categorized 2 LLMs which are UH approved only. One is Gemini and one is Copilot. Let me just summarize you what are the best offerings of Gemini and Copilot are, and later we could go a bit in depth. Gemini, I think it is an LLM where it is backed by Google search, whatever database it has, it is backed by actual legit data of how we normally use Google. It is best known for reading documents, understanding documents, analyzing long reports. It gives good vibe coding access as well. It also has a good feature of generating images, audio files, and all these things. And it has a gem section, which are basically an custom assistants which we could use. We could customize. Suppose I am a writer. I'm a writer who wants only that type of writing style. I'm writing a genre or fiction in a particular genre, I want a comedy script, and if I just customize an agent saying that okay, I want the responses in this style, this particular